We're back. Dynasty trades in 5. I'm Clay.
I'm Shane.
You're going to get a penny for my thoughts for this one.
Definitely not prepared with any trades for this one. So we're doing Rashaad Penny.
Woo! Finally.
Yeah, he kind of came out of nowhere. Always injured, but freaking won some ships this year, baby. Shane, your favorite. I know you're a heavy buyer of Rashaad Penny right now.
Yeah, dude. I mean, how could you not? Like you get a running back in the first round, and this is what you dream of, right? Them carrying you to a title. Now, it is 4 years after you drafted him, and he's probably not on the roster that he was drafted on, and he's probably been cut multiple times from whatever team that he started with. But hey, it's the perfect story. You drafted a running back in the first round in a dynasty league, and he ended up carrying someone to a title. I don't want to just say sell for anything, so I won't, because he definitely has more value than, say, a third and a fourth. But if I could get 2 third-round picks and then I could trade for 2 Rashaad Pennies next year, I'm probably okay with that. I like giving these trades that certain podcasts do. They're like, oh, well, just trade Penny in a third and get a second, except that no one's going to do that. But sure, try that too, because I've heard podcasts tell me that can happen, even though I've never seen it. I mean, the guy looked like an absolute stud the last 2 out of the last 3 weeks. Over 130 rushing yards. He set a career rushing high twice. He's a 3-down back. So if he actually can stay on the field, he is a guy that has the skill set to put up top 12 running back numbers. So if someone's going to trade you, if someone's going to trade you him for a couple thirds in your league, you could do much worse than on lottery tickets. I wouldn't actually mind spending that on him. He looked really good. Like I said, he looked as good as he's looked since he's been in the league. There's a lot of wear and tear on that body from injuries, though, so that's what concerns me. So yeah, there we go. I'm a sell, but not at any price.
So let's break it down. First of all, ADP market value really doesn't matter with Rashaad Penny. I know we're here to discuss what is his trade value, but I think this is more where we can teach some process, or at least give some process opinions. So just lump him into this huge group of running backs where we really don't know where they're going to stand in 2022. You're going to have to go out on a ledge with Rashaad Penny, with insert any running back that's not an insulated top 20 running back or so in Dynasty, where I can say, okay, that guy's going to be under contract on this franchise, and most likely I can project his workload to be between X and Y. Every other running back is thrown into the same massive group of, hey, I want some of these guys, but I'm not really convicted enough to go out and say I'm sending every one of my second rounders for Rashaad Penny, or I'm selling every one of my Rashaad Penny shares for a third rounder. So it's somewhere in that mix. So that's a wide gap of how you would value him. So if someone says, is he worth a second? No, I'm not paying a second. Is he worth a third? Sure, I'll buy for a third. Am I going to sell for 2 thirds? Am I going to accept 2 seconds? I mean, it really just comes down to how you want to build your team. Now, I think the good thing with Penny is he's a free agent. So I've seen a ton of shows discussing, well, he's just going to be the lead guy in Seattle next year. Not so fast. If I'm Rashaad Penny, the last thing I'm doing is crawling back to the Seahawks and being part of that offense. If they're going to pay me, sure. If they're going to give me a lucrative 1-year starter deal, $6-8 million for a 1-year deal, and I'm the locked in starter, then fine. But they still have Chris Carson under contract. And I really don't think they're going to just turn around and hand the backfield to Rashaad Penny. So what is his value? His value is going to be determined by the open market. So he could land somewhere where, oh my gosh, that's a great landing spot. And you now combine the fact that, hey, the good part of what Shane said is the dude doesn't have a lot of wear and tear. Sure, he's been injured, but you can look at his wear and tear and you go, okay, for his career, Rashaad Penny only has 280 touches in his entire career. So maybe he actually has some tread on the tires, kind of like we've seen Sony Michel become reborn this past season. So I don't think he's really necessarily a buy or sell. One thing, I'm starting to look at the mock draft information for this year. This is going to be a very heavy running back draft, not at the high end. You're not going to get a bunch of top 6, top 8 running backs in this class. You're going to get a ton of guys in the Trey Sermon, Michael Carter range, 8 or 9 guys. So Are you necessarily going to take the pick that you're going to pick the RB6 if that's a late third round running back over Rashaad Penny? Maybe not. But there might be some circumstances where I'd much rather have 2 shots if I can get Penny and another shot for next year's Michael Carter or next year's Trey Sermon. I don't hate that either. So I think it just comes down to how are you playing this entire range and how are you playing running back roster construction?
Yeah, and if you're making a bigger trade, he's not a bad guy to request. That's kind of thrown in,
Sure, exactly.
as like a little way to put it over the edge.
Yeah, and in general, you should always be trying to get guys thrown in like that.
Right. Even if it's a warm body.
Every trade. Yeah.
I think another way to attack this would be, is there a running back that I don't necessarily want to trade for just a first, but can I get a piece back on top of it? Do I want to trade Travis Etienne for a first by himself? Maybe, but if it's the best offer I get is the 110. How about 110 and Rashaad Penny for Travis Etienne?
Yeah.
That's a coin flip that, hell, I might have the better running back for the next year or two. And that's another flexible piece. I think it's more of the process here of how you're going to acquire or sell a guy like Penny versus I'm not convicted enough on his talent versus 50 other guys.
Rashaad Penny and let's call it the 211 or Chase Edmonds.
Perfect deal. That's a perfect Rashaad Penny and 211.
Yeah.
And I like Chase Edmonds. I think he's better than Rashaad Penny, but that's at best a 60% chance he's better than Penny going forward, at best.
In the offseason, I'm fine with that. Come the season, I'd probably swing the other way. But yeah, I'm fine with that in the offseason.
How about Rashaad Penny in the 207 or Rondale Moore?
I'll take Penny in the 207. I think I'm going to get a similar player to Rondale at the 207.
Man, I really want to give up on Rondale that early. Let's see. Oh, well, yeah, he sucked his rookie year. He's dead. All right.